Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets, joined once again by Noah Olson, and we're going to be talking about optimum nutrition and basically peptides. So peptides are, optimize your life. You want to have peptides in your life. I've been using the peptides from your organization, Noah, and they've been doing really good things. So I'm looking forward to this. You're going to give us lots of different reasons why we should be on peptides.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I think, the science just still continues to prove us right every day. These peptides are naturally occurring, but also can be synthetically derived to be used for, to help elicit benefits. So I prepared a little presentation for everybody.
Nice.
We're going to go over some of the most important peptides, I think, as well as some of the ones that I've personally tried. And of course, we can get into some really cool science on it. So super looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Great.
Awesome. Let's do it. Well, I appreciate you having me on again. I'll get my screen share pulled up here, but hope everybody tuning in is having an awesome day. Going to share some really exciting stuff. So we'll just go right in. Let's pull it up here. So get my full screen going. All right. So healing powers of peptides. And, I like you mentioned at the start of the show, I know you've been trying out our BPC 157. What do you think so far, Mike?
Yeah, it's really good. I've been getting some really good, recovery, and energy levels are great. I'm looking forward to, longer term, the benefits that I'm going to probably be seeing. So It's outstanding.
Love that. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Seems to be the general consensus too. It's really skyrocketed since our last show. A lot of people heard about it and they started, getting on it, which is good. And I feel like a lot of people are noticing some pretty cool effects. Of course, it really is, like you just said, it's really just been a month since it's been out now, which is kind of hard to believe. But we're already on track with our second peptide product, which a little behind the scenes, I've been taking it in combination with the BPC and had profound effects. Physically, in terms of getting into the best shape of my life, of course, in combination with exercise, diet, lifestyle, getting all that stuff squared away, but then adding on these quantum tools, I call them, these peptides, I feel like have a very good place on our quantum tool belt. And, I'm going to show you why. So, a lot of reasons.
Brenda in the chat wants to know, because I posted a picture of a very muscular guy and peptides in the background, but she's wondering if this is good for women as well.
Great question. Absolutely. And so that's a great question. Yes. So both men and women actually naturally produce peptides, and we produce a lot of the same ones. So of course it's going to vary when it comes to reproductive health, but almost across the board, all the peptides work for both men and women. So great question.
Thank you.
Of course. Absolutely. Okay, so what is a peptide, though? It's kind of a buzzword, I guess, what is it, though? It's actually just amino acids. So think of it as little puzzle pieces, basically, made up of proteins that, our bodies can use. And like I've already been mentioning, our bodies naturally produce them. And what they do is, again, almost like a lock and key. They act as messengers to tell our body what to do, how to heal, what to build or regulate. And think, different peptides are going to do different things. So there's literally thousands of peptides out there. They're already used. They've been used in medicine. We know insulin was actually the first peptide ever created, and is now being used in cutting edge wellness. So how do peptides work? So what they do is they bind to specific receptors in our cells, and that's how they trigger these very specialized functions. So unlike many pharmaceuticals, they have very specific roles with fewer side effects. So they can mimic or enhance natural peptides your body already makes, which is great. So you're not taking an exogenous source and, diminishing your body's ability to create them. They work together with the peptides that your body naturally creates to elicit really beneficial effects. And they can be naturally occurring or synthetically made. So history of peptides, a little history lesson here. So in 1901, The chemist Emil Fischer first coined the term peptides, again, to describe amino acids linked together by peptide bonds. So really sciencey, basically just peptides that are bonded together that perform certain functions in our bodies. And then in 1921 to 1922, Canadian researchers first isolated insulin, like I mentioned, and they administered it to a 14-year-old type 1 diabetic and saved his life. And then in 1953, there was a French chemist who isolated and synthesized oxytocin, which later won him the Nobel Peace Prize in 1955, which is pretty cool. So peptides, they've been around for a long time. You just don't really necessarily think of like insulin as a peptide. We think of it honestly more so as like a anti-diabetic medication, which, our bodies don't actually produce insulin, obviously. So they've been around really for way back. But in the 60s and beyond, this is really how they came into, more popularity, was from Dr. Vladimir Kavinson, who studied peptides and these things known as bioregulators, which are very similar to peptides. And he actually posted hundreds of patents and papers on these. So he's actually kind of like the fourth father of peptides. You can see him here. He's a Russian scientist, obviously. He's pictured there with Putin. So he was actually one of his personal aides as part of like his anti-aging longevity protocol. So, and then he actually mysteriously died out of the blue, which the reason for that still has not been posted yet. So he's created 6 peptide-based pharmaceuticals and over 65 peptide-based.
Wonder what he did to put this up Putin.
I don't know. It's a good question. Or was it, the technology he was releasing, people just didn't want it out. It's probably a combination.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Yeah, the pharmaceutical industry is like, you're making people younger and healthier. No, we can't have that. You must.
Oh, yeah. No, we can't have that. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely not. But we will, and we are. And so, and a lot of the papers too that he released and put out, literally is like some of the most mind-blowing science out there. We're talking about life extension, all that. So we'll keep going here. First category we're going to talk about. So I've got 5 categories of peptides. We'll go through the list, but I picked the top 3 for each one. So first we're going to start with healing peptides. Okay. And I picked Wolverine here for obvious reasons, heal like Wolverine. The superhero movies, all of them were super cool as a kid growing up, but now it's even cooler to actually have possibly the ability to have real life superpowers. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So, they support repair of tissues, tendons, ligaments, skin, and gut healing. So across the board, soft tissues, cartilage, anything like that, it's going to help, recover from injuries, or even if you've had surgeries before in the past. And it is also a minimally invasive alternative treatment to like surgery or, getting like some really crazy procedure done. You can try these things first off for a fraction of the cost and with literally almost no side effects. So the first one, BPC 157, the one that we were just talking about at the start of the show, is it's called the Wolverine peptide, literally. And it's a pentadecapeptide, which means it's 15 amino acids bonded together. So it's a very complex peptide. It's naturally occurring in our gut, and it provides the blueprint for our body to heal. So on a cellular level, it basically delivers the blueprint. It gives your body the map as to tell where the blood vessels to form to get the most optimal blood flow to the actual site of injury. And it does that by increasing the formation of new blood vessels and also increasing the formation of new cells to help our muscles, joints, ligaments, tendons, all that to repair faster. So it's taking what God already gave us, our intuitive, natural healing toolkit, and it just speeds it up even faster. So with that, you're going to see lower pain, less swelling, reduced inflammation. It's really one of those peptides where, it's making the rounds now, and a lot of people, they should go try it for themselves. Honestly, that's the best way to feel its effects. I've been taking it for over 4 years now. I know you've taken it before, right, Mike?
Yeah, I did the injectable, and I'm not a fan of injection, so I'm super happy because I did away with it. I haven't used it for years now, but I've been using it, and I've been doing some crazy workouts. Yesterday I did a crazy workout. I've been traveling, and I got a chance to, like, catch up a little bit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pour it on. I have no soreness whatsoever.
Wow.
So I've been taking that. That's the one thing I've been taking on the road. I usually leave a lot of stuff behind when I travel, but definitely brought the BPC 157 with us, and I've been consistent with it. So yeah, and the gym at this hotel I was staying was an excellent gym. Normally, gym hotels suck bad. This one was like a high speed one. They have another place where members can join it, so they keep it up to really high speed. The gym that I've been using in Lake Tahoe, unfortunately, it's like just a maintenance gym. So I was like, oh, yay, I can like really hit it hard. So I hit it hard yesterday, and absolutely no pain, no muscle soreness, no nothing today. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. So yeah, this stuff is real. It's a real deal.
There you go. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. I tell people literally the same thing. Like I can work out as much as I want, get the best sleep of my life, wake up, it's like I never even did it. And, so it's, but then for normal people, right, even if you're not doing intensive exercises like us, like in terms of just overall joint pain, mobility, less stiffness in your body, your muscles are going to be able to be a lot more flexible. Your connective tissues are going to work a lot better like they're supposed to. There's a reason why, we're meant to move, and BPC just helps you do that. So, and then of course too, the biggest hurdle with these peptides is the absorption. So like Mike mentioned, this peptide is normally injected, and it's a lot of times the peptides I'm going to share with you, there's some that aren't, but most of them are only injectable. And so it's actually pretty amazing what we've done over at Optimum. And, of course, that's the supplement company I founded. We just surpassed 1 year. And, honestly, huge thanks to you, Mike, and everybody watching this. It's been what a ride so far. So, we're just getting started. But what we did with the BPC is we actually attached it to an arginate salt to make it much more stable in the gut. So whereas other BPCs don't actually get absorbed, ours is chemically made to actually get absorbed almost entirely. And then to back it up, we've got patented trademarked peptide absorption enhancers, which are actually completely natural. They come from black pepper extract, and then also Panax noda ginseng and astragalus, which are some amazing root herbs that most people actually might be familiar with.
Yeah, definitely. I've used astragalus separately, so this is great.
100%. They've shown some really interesting studies too. Another great tool for longevity, helps to reduce the shortening of telomeres. So, little anti-aging benefit there as well. And then also too, all of our peptides are made in the USA. So that's, huge. A lot of people, don't really know what they're getting. And so everything we do is third-party lab tested. We go to the absolute utmost when it comes to sourcing and purity. So people can go to our website. We've got the tests available. You can check them out for yourself. They're almost literally entirely 100% pure, which in this industry market is almost impossible. So I'm truly, I wouldn't want anybody to take anything that isn't, this level of purity. So I'm truly, truly thankful to be working with some great people. So there is a study though I was going to share. So a lot of these peptides, while they're still emerging, they don't get a lot of funding. And that's because they're inherently unpatentable because, again, most of them are naturally occurring. So you can't patent them. Pharmaceutical companies can't stamp their name on them and just say they're ours. We'll get into some that they have been able to with. But so the human trials, the evidence out there, like the human research, I guess, is kind of lacking with some of these. Thankfully, though, there was a 2019 study done on BPC 157, only looking at 12 people, but these people were dealing with knee pain. And what they saw was 11 out of the 12 saw a significant pain reduction in knee pain. So, increased mobility, exercise tolerance, sleep quality was also noted, which I know for me, that's one of the biggest benefits I noticed. I took a couple of days off and went back on it. I actually took 2 capsules that night that I went back to it. And man, I woke up literally vividly remembering my dreams, which for me is it rarely happens. So, you know, I don't know. You'll have to check it out, Mike, too. You know, I feel a lot more cognitively, like more, I guess, able to access more higher states of consciousness, if that makes sense.
Yeah, very good.
So they also noted there was longer lasting benefits and fewer side effects compared to traditional steroids, which is absolutely unbelievable. And then I also want to share this study too. 2006 study looked at, so researchers basically severed the Achilles tendon of mice. So again, not a ton of human research out there, but as you can see, the before and after in the groups that were untreated and the ones that had BPC 157, complete massive total difference there. By day 7, the BPC 157 mice were already miles ahead of the other groups, one having nothing, and then the other group had steroids, and BPC 157 completely outperformed both of them. So,
wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive with the BPC.
Yeah, absolutely.
The musculature and the tendon regrowing back like that, that's phenomenal in just 21 days. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty miraculous. So, and you know, of course, too, people can go to our site, they can read. You know, there's so many testimonials out there online, like it's crazy. But I do want to share this. So, one of the mechanisms.
That's why they call it Wolverine.
Yeah.
Miracle.
Exactly.
Yep. Good stuff.
Right.
And yeah, good stuff.
100%. You know, I'm thankful to just be aware of it and just to be able to sell it now. It's truly a blessing. So,
incredible. Thank
you. Also here, massive key benefit of taking BPC 157, especially consistently. Okay. So you're fine to take it every once in a while, but you're going to notice much better effects with consistent use. And I'll tell you why. Well, by day 3 of supplementation in this study, they saw a 7x increase in growth hormone receptor activation, which, to dumb that down, basically, all that means is the growth hormone our bodies are naturally producing. So no steroids, no injections, no nothing. By taking BPC 157 capsules, you're increasing your body's ability to use your own growth hormone 7-fold, 700%, which is absurd. So with that, you're going to see improvements like better wound healing, muscle recovery, increased muscle gain, as well as it actually inhibits fat. Like it's one of the best things for, it's called lipolysis. It basically just burns fat while you sleep. So, you know, of course, results may vary. Of course, it's going to depend on your lifestyle and how active you are, but that is actually what growth hormone does in the body. So pretty unbelievable. And I can say it for myself. I know I've personally noticed this for sure. Big time. All right. So second peptide we're going to get into is GHK copper peptide. Mike, I know you know about this one. It's been a major breakthrough. I'll, you know, basically just get right into it, but it's a tripeptide. It's also known as the fountain of youth. Okay. So copper peptide, it's naturally found in our bodies. And especially, you know, when you get a cut or a wound or a scrape, copper peptide goes directly to the scene to basically help to increase the healing process. So you're going to see tissue regeneration. Not only that, but also hair and skin regeneration. So copper peptide is actually used topically. It's used all sorts of different ways. Some of the ways that we'll get into, but specifically hair and skin topicals have actually been shown to basically reverse the skin aging process. It improves skin elasticity, reduces fine lines, even skin tone. And then in hair, it's actually been shown to regrow hair. And it does that by increasing blood flow to the scalp. So very similar to BPC 157, GHK copper peptide also has the ability to basically tell our body how to increase its own ability to heal. And it does that by up or down regulating hundreds of human genes related to repair and protection. So, you know, LifeWave, I mean, let's talk about it. Like, you know, I've got a couple studies I'm going to share, but these patches, right, we can just jump right in. But
nice.
people can check them out. You know, I know obviously you've got a huge following for the LifeWave patches, and my buddy's got some. I've been meaning to try them, but this study here I couldn't help but share because, you know, GHK copper peptide, so many benefits, including these. Looks like there was 50 adults aged between 40 and 81. After 1 week, individuals experience increased short-term memory, increased mood, better sleep, and positive changes in heart rate variability, respiration, and vitality scores, which those last three, very important. Heart rate variability is, you know, Mike, better than anybody, but heart rate variability, going back to basically our ability to, you know, manage stress and especially in, you know, staying resilient in stressful situations, your heart rate variability is key. It's paramount because that's basically the vagus nerve, which connects to basically every major organ in the body, but specifically it's the biggest link from your head, from your brain to your heart. And, you know, this study here, it looks like actually showed a positive increase in that. So pretty profound.
Yeah, it's great stuff. You know, I've been using it for several years. It's a miracle. So I have almost 10,000 people that are, you know, working with me with this, and it's miracles, absolutely miracles. So yeah, tying this with the peptides is, you know, your peptides is, I think it's fantastic. So I'm glad you brought this in like this. It's perfect combination.
Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. I think people should use both, right? You know, I think that's going to be the best way going forward, just because, I mean, this technology we know, and I can show you, I've got another study for people. So, because a lot of people will say, well, how do I know it's working? Well, you can't necessarily see it, right? It's not like it's gonna, you know, you're not going to wake up and be somebody else. Like, you know, all these things take time, and apparently not as much time as we think, but on a biological, biochemical level, we can actually observe changes. And so there's another study that looked at 60 adults, and after a week, they actually reported increased circulating levels of this GHK copper peptide. So again, this just confirms all the health benefits. And of course, we know there's stem cell activation going on, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Massively.
Yeah. You know, David Schmidt has had 201 patents on all of the LifeWave products so far. So to get one patent is like incredible, but he's got 201. So it's, you know, it's great stuff. And it's funny because David Schmidt calls me, who's the one character, Wolverine. So he calls me Wolverine because I heal super fast, but I have limitations as well. So I need all the help I can get, especially, you know, I turned 65 in a week. So it's X39 helps, has been helping quite a bit, but definitely your peptides are definitely going to make a difference going forward because it's a Wolverine. It's a fast healing. Like I said, it's already making an impact. So good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I just want to provide options for people. Ultimately, we're going to go through 15 peptides, 13 other ones. And so, you know, this is a great way to basically get this peptide in to your system as much as you can, you know. Thymosin beta 4. So this is another massively successful healing peptide, commonly taken in combination with the other two. So, you know, 43 amino acid peptide. It's actually one of the most complex ones, and it's produced naturally by our thymus. So our thymus gland, a lot of people don't know, but it actually deteriorates as we age. And the thymus gland is actually what creates peptides, and a lot of them too. There's thousands. Again, there's so many of these peptides, and our thymus gland is responsible for a lot of the ones used for improved healing and also improving the immune system. So this one, again, is going to help specifically. What it does, it actually helps to shuttle the healing cells to the actual area of injury. So it is incredible for increasing the cellular communication and increasing our body's ability to heal at the source. So again, massive improvements in reduced inflammation. So especially if you've got a lot of swelling after an injury, right? That could even be a muscle sprain, tear, something like that. it's going to get in there and it's going to act quick, and you see pretty profound effects. Again, I haven't personally used this one, but I do know there's again, some miracle testimonies on it. So, all right. Category number 2 is going to be weight loss peptides. So I know a lot of people are probably thinking okay, when's he going to bring up Ozempic? So we're going to get there. So I picked Flash for this for obvious reasons, but it's going to help you lose weight in a flash. This is a new wave of weight loss medications that act on several key pathways involving appetite suppression, insulin sensitivity, and increased caloric expenditure. So these ones have by far the most clinical human data. And that's thanks to, I just recently learned this, but these new weight loss peptides have more revenue than all pharmaceutical drugs in the past 30 years combined. Yeah. So in 2025 alone, they're going to at least do probably over $1 trillion, which is just insane. And of course, there comes a lot of caveats with these. So I don't want to make it out to seem that, everybody should be taking all these peptides. Definitely, this is not medical advice. Consult with your practitioner, but and a lot of these too, which I'll talk about, do have some side effects. So of course, it shouldn't be any surprise, right? We already heard about Ozempic, also known as semaglutide. So it mimics GLP-1, which is a hormone that we release after we're done eating. So it slows gastric emptying and makes you feel full longer. Basically just tricks your brain into thinking it's not hungry anymore. So with that, you're going to see reduced appetite and improved blood sugar control as well by stimulating insulin and another peptide called glucagon, which will be coming back around here shortly. But so this is essentially a stage 1 GLP mimicking peptide, and it's incredibly effective. They've already done, it's obviously available. People can get this through their doctor with a prescription, but there's some other ones that people don't even know about, which we'll get into. So, and I picked this picture here because I feel like we're kind of going through this whole weight loss wave, like The Biggest Loser, where people are losing a ton of weight and then just gaining it back. And it's because they're not changing their lifestyle. So, a lot of people already are probably kind of turned off by, the whole Ozempic craze because of a lot of the side effects out there. But that's because the people who are prescribing these don't actually know how to properly use these in combination with lifestyle, diet, and exercise. So, you'll see crazy results. Like average people in these studies are losing 15% of their body fat. They're seeing improved cardiovascular risk factors, blood pressure, waist circumference, all that. But it's about implementing key lifestyle changes that are going to help you keep that weight loss long term, as opposed to just trying another diet, doing another, crashing your metabolism again, and just being stuck on the yo-yo. So, retatrutide, this is essentially the King Kong of these GLPs. And what it does is it basically takes Ozempic and adds 2 more peptides to it that increase your metabolism, and it hits way more pathways involved in fat loss. So this is essentially the greatest weight loss drug so far to date, but it's not even yet available. So people may have heard of it. You can get it. And I should also mention both of these are injectable only. So you have to inject these. That's the biggest side effect. And, more people than not, most people will not inject, but most people will take a capsule. So that's where, hopefully we'll start to see more of those. But so essentially this one we can see here, people saw average weight loss of up to 23%. So 23% of your weight loss with this, pretty insane. Another one, orforglipron. So this is actually what I was just talking about. This is the world's first true once daily orally available GLP-1. So this is going to completely change the game. It was not even close to being out yet, but it's basically like semaglutide, but in pill form, and it does not require refrigeration. So for people who are already taking Ozempic, this is basically going to be replacing that in a few years, but it's just not there's still steps that must be taken to get the FDA approval. So that's what stops a lot of these from coming out sooner. But not saying we're going to, but we might have this on the way. So stay tuned for that. But orforglipron, it's been shown to also decrease weight by up to 15%. So, where I think these are important. So, I'm throwing a lot of information, right?
Mm-hmm.
But where I actually really see these is for people who have, the lifestyle stuff down, who maybe don't need to lose 100 pounds, but who, will use this responsibly and in combination, of course, with like getting your lighting in check too, because your lighting, artificial lighting can really screw with your hunger hormones. So you want to really time this, with your circadian rhythm, all that. You don't want to take too much of these because they can start to, your body can start to lose its natural ability to produce the GLP-1 peptide. So, we're seeing studies of people taking these for 48 weeks. I don't think that's necessary. I think you could easily take this for a month, get some nice weight loss, and then get off of it, and then just keep going like that. Again, they're going to try and push the dosages with these to people as much as they can. So they're going to just keep raising them. But I see a very low dose being incredibly effective for people just to get leaner and to stay in really great shape. So hopefully more to come on that soon. Category number 3. So this is actually my favorite, and for a really good reason. But for this one, I chose Superman and Wonder Woman because, man, growth hormone peptides. These basically stimulate your body's own release of growth hormone. It's not like taking growth hormone exogenously. So it's like instead of getting a prescription for growth hormone, you can actually take a peptide that increases your body's natural production. So that's what these are. And
nice.
Of course, we know growth hormone secretion declines as we age, loss of muscle mass, frailty, decreased mobility, ultimately loss of independence, it's primarily used to target fat loss and then also muscle gain. So pull up, we got tesamorelin. So a lot of people who've probably heard of these peptides may have used this one. Mike, are you familiar? Have you tried out this?
Yeah, I have tried out that one. That one's a really good one as well. But again, injectable. If you guys come out with a pill form, I will promote it like crazy.
Well, all right. Hang on. We're almost there.
Okay. Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
gives me blowing it up.
Oh, for sure. So tesamorelin, like we were just talking about, incredibly effective, but it's only injectable. So this is an actual trademarked. It's called a Grifta. So you can get this as a prescription. It's not cheap. So you're better off probably getting it through somebody else. But it's basically this growth hormone releasing peptide. And it's actually used to reduce visceral fat in HIV patients because people with HIV tend to get this lipodystrophy, basically this really hard fat around their midsection. And when you inject it with tesamorelin, by increasing your growth hormone, it actually like evaporates that and breaks it all down. And so you can use this to get into incredibly ripped shape, just very well conditioned with this by being on it. And it's very short lasting. So after injection, you see the effects last for about 2 hours. So you commonly would take this in combination with something like ipamorelin. So we'll talk about the combination of those two in a second. But there was a study, I guess I included here, looked at 806 HIV patients, saw basically a decrease in 8% body fat, lowered their triglycerides, higher adiponectin, basically a signaling molecule that tells your body to not store as much fat, improved lipids, all that. So you're not only going to see visible like physical changes in your physique, but you're actually going to see like better blood work. So, that's something also too. And of course, like most doctors aren't going to be prescribing this for people unless you work with somebody who's in like functional medicine, or if you have access to somebody who's high speed, like what we're doing right now. So really important information, honestly. Ipamorelin. So again, this one's usually taken in combination with tesamorelin. It's another one of those secretagogues. So it does increase our body's natural growth hormone production, but it does it through a different mechanism than some of the other ones. So this one basically increases the hunger hormone ghrelin. So it can increase appetite and is known to do that. And this one lasts a little bit longer because of that. So it's actually best to take this one at night. Again, Mike, by chance, have you tried out the ipamorelin?
I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't tried out this one either. I know that they're both incredibly effective, but you got to be pricking yourself like 2 times a day with these, and it's just really inconvenient. So, but what we do have access to now, especially coming right around the corner, is this one called ibutamorin, or it's also known as MK677. So this is actually, it's not a peptide, but it's a small molecule, and it's orally available. And it's, again, a growth hormone secretagogue. So it acts actually like ipamorelin. So it does increase the growth hormone through the upregulation of the hunger hormone ghrelin. So it basically binds to the same receptors in the brain as our hunger hormone, again, called ghrelin. And by doing so, it massively upregulates the production of growth hormone. So it was originally developed for growth hormone deficient patients and also for sarcopenia or muscle wasting. So it's incredibly effective for not only retaining, but also to build lean muscle mass. And I'll be sharing some of my results. It's been absolutely a game changer. And it's what I've been talking about on the past 2 shows we've done, that we're working so hard to get out to people at a dosage that's effective without any of the nasty side effects that some of these can have. So all these growth hormone peptides, the biggest side effect is water retention. And so that's actually what we're working on, is we've actually created a stable formula that doesn't have those same nasty side effects. So water retention, of course, just increases basically puffiness. I actually have not experienced that at all in my experience with taking this one in particular, which people say that's the biggest side effect, but I have not had any of that at all. So the benefit of taking this is by taking 1 capsule per day, you increase the production of growth hormone for 24 hours, which truly makes it a once a day oral growth hormone secretagogue. So with that, you're going to see improved body composition. Mike, I'll tell you, I've gained 15 pounds of muscle. Like, I'm talking like still in lean, well conditioned. I'm like going to the gym maybe 3-4 times a week. Nothing's really changed. But in the past 3 months, I've easily put on over 10 pounds of muscle. And I mean, I've gotten a lot of compliments, and all that stuff, which is great. It's cool. But my overall well-being too, by taking this, my memory, my cognition, there's a lot of benefits to having more growth hormone. And especially, again, as we age, our growth hormone production starts to stop. So we have to be doing something so that we can still get the growth hormone that we need to keep enough muscle. And so I'm going to walk through some studies here, basically.
Yeah, good stuff. I was noticing that. You're looking like a stud muffin. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, for sure.
No, you really do. So I'm sure you get good compliments. Congratulations.
I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely.
Good combination. I've wanted that combination forever. Only the major bodybuilders would have that kind of combination. They do steroids and human growth hormone. They get ridiculous size, of course. But it is kind of dicey, health wise. Right. So having something like this that is, definitely the average person could use. It could benefit them in multiple ways. You don't have to be a major bodybuilder. Just like you're saying, you just work out a few times a week. That's what most people do. And you're getting fantastic results. So you don't have to go on the which I think are highly sketchy, the weight loss drugs. There's a lot of people have complications with those. And but it is, you know, if you're using a peptide, it's probably safer than some of the other stuff they have out there. That's probably why they've been so successful. They have been, a lot of people have incredible, real success. But, you know, like I said, a little dicey. But this is there's no diciness to this at all. It's just clean, good energy, peptide energy, and really your body's not going to reject it. You're going to have really good results with it. So I'm looking forward to you guys coming out with the next product. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, no, me too. Well, we're coming up on like 2-3 weeks from it actually being here. So
Nice.
yeah. So for anybody watching this, I mean, you know, be sure to, if you're not already, subscribe to our email list. I know a lot of people actually have emailed me since our last show telling me different products that they've tried, that they use, that are, you know, basically custom products made. I think this is going to be way more effective, honestly. I think if you're taking any other, like Sir Moreland, there's a ton of them. There's like hexamorelin. There's a couple other ones that, you know, you can kind of get products that are supposedly like sublingual that are supposed to work. But from my research, I've seen the absorption rate on those are abysmal. So this is truly something that, again, too, we're going to combine it, of course, with patented trademark peptide absorption enhancers. So you're going to get the absolute best absorption. And again, for both men and women, because this is something too. And I chose this picture because I think it's great. Like, you're not going to get like bodybuilder jacked. You know, I'm 180 pounds. I'm 6 foot. You know, I'm not like crazy muscly and all that. It's actually just helps to basically increase your lean muscle mass. So if you're, you know, looking for that body recomposition.
Yeah. But on the other side of that, if you are doing the bodybuilding thing like I've done forever, this would be the ultimate, because I've used it a little bit, the growth hormone, but only the peptide injectable stuff, not the heavy duty stuff. It costs like incredible amounts of money. We're talking like $15,000. You know, just really, really ridiculous feat. And those guys can afford it because they got sponsors and all that kind of stuff because they're so jacked up. But, you know, most of us not even gone close to affording that. And so anything that you could bring out, like you're talking about, I'm sure it's going to be affordable for the average person. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, true. Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's the biggest thing I feel like is stopping a lot of people from trying out, you know, like I'm sure there's benefits to taking very small doses of like pharmaceutical grade growth hormone, but it's just too hard for people to get their hands on. Our growth hormone product is going to be actually the same price as the BPC. So
wow,
again, it's like, this is truly something that there's nothing like this on the market. There's literally nothing else.
Nothing.
And
nothing.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah, not even close. And
everybody's like not walking but running to this. It's going to be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely have to get in front of the crowd and make sure we get it out there.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But I can't wait for you to try it. Yeah, no, I can't wait for you to try it, man, because you're definitely going to be feeling it. That's for sure. I take mine 30 minutes after I work out. And I do that because, again, it does. So, again, a lot of these aren't like perfect. You know, it's going to just, you're going to take it. You're going to just rock it out. You're just going to be feeling amazing. The only side effect for me, and actually this is more of the benefit, but it actually does still have an appetite increasing effect, which for me isn't very much. And it's only in about 20% of people that it affects. So that's great. So it's very low side effect profile. But what I do to counteract that, actually, our formula, again, is going to basically have a natural GLP-1. No pharmaceutical. It's actually an ancient Chinese herb called berberine. So
berberine, yeah, good.
Yeah. So that's going to be
separately too. So yeah, I'm going to get all this stuff, and I have to I'll actually be doing away with some stuff. That's beautiful.
Hopefully, yeah, man. That's what, you know, my whole goal is just to simplify. And,
totally.
You know, all these things too are already in my routine. I was just about to say too, I take mine 30 minutes after I work out, right before I eat. So that way I get the double whammy effect, increase muscle gain, increase, you know, metabolic rate right before I eat that meal. And then with the berberine again, The appetite's gone. And after that, I'm good for the day. I'm set for the night. So,
and you're just talking about the appetite suppressant type side of it, but it has multiple benefits, heart health, all kind of crazy stuff. So
yeah,
definitely something you want if you're, hitting the gym hard. You want to protect that heart because you're like, forcing a lot of weight and so forth. So I like everything about these products that you guys are coming out with.
Thank you so much, Mike. Absolutely. I'm glad that you love them, and seriously can't wait for you to try this one. It's going to be a game changer. I was going to say though too, the berberine. Yeah. So we're actually using too, and this is again, just game changing stuff. There's actually a certain form of berberine called dihydroberberine. So one of the biggest side effects, again, so I'm all about minimizing the side effects and increasing the benefits. So one of the biggest side effects of berberine is actually kind of the gut irritation that it can cause, which is actually from it destroying bad bacteria like Candida, Giardia, and H. pylori. But there's actually an even more absorbable form of berberine called dihydroberberine, and that's what we're going to include in ours. And so that's it is 4 to 6 times more absorbable than berberine. So anybody who's used berberine before, this is going to have way less gastrointestinal side effects. There's none. I'll stand by that, bar none. I don't know anybody who's going to have, of course, there's going to be outliers, but this product is meant to just literally just work, and that's it. And so, and we've got some other really cool ingredients too, but actually really got some cool stuff I want to show here. So there is a study from 1998, looked at 24 obese males, age 18 to 50. They took the MK677 and they saw over 8 weeks an increase in 6.6 pounds of lean muscle mass. So that's not fat. That is pure muscle mass without exercising or changing their diet. So very profound body recomposition effects.
That's fantastic, because then a lot of people in here, like, you guys are talking about working out. I'm out. So
right.
No, these have more. We're not even. That's just one aspect of this. These, human growth hormone is good for everything. If you're obese, this is going to help you out. If you're sedentary, it's going to help you out. If you're active, it's going to help you out. So multiple benefits across the entire spectrum of everything people need.
Right. And, it's naturally produced. Our bodies make it, obviously. And one of the biggest benefits is that actually upgrades our cells' machinery for creating energy. So it's very potent at helping increase our mitochondria. So you're going to see a whole host of benefits: increased metabolism, sleep. We haven't even gotten to there. We will. But growth hormone is incredible for also the skin. It's a beauty hormone as well. It reduces, it makes you look younger, basically. And as we will show, what the studies prove, and I've got quite a few, but it basically brings the growth hormone levels in older people back to the levels of healthy young adults, which is it's one of those things where you really can't deny. It's one of those amazing things, So there's another 1996 study, looked at 15 healthy men and then 17 healthy women aged 64 to 81. And they saw dose-dependent increases in growth hormone levels, with the highest levels of those of young, healthy adults in only 2 weeks. So only 2 weeks of taking this will you experience those benefits of having, revitalized growth hormone levels, a young person, basically. From these studies, that's basically what they're extrapolating. They're comparing the growth hormone effects in older people to levels of healthy young individuals, and they find the same levels in only 2 weeks, which is nuts. There's another study, looked at 9 severely growth hormone deficient men aged 17 to 34. It restored their levels in only 4 days. So they lived their whole lives being growth hormone deficient, probably having to rely on taking growth hormone injections. And in only 4 days, they saw that fixed. And also this study too noted that the 10 milligram dose was almost just as effective as a 50 milligram dose, which again, so it's dose dependent. The more you take, obviously, you're going to have higher chance of getting side effects. So there's no reason from this study to be taking super high doses. There's another study that looked at 187 adults age 65 or older, and it restored their levels back to young, healthy adults. So this one's looking at 187 adults. And, it also goes to say, like, these studies are from the 90s. This isn't new. It's just people haven't really turned to it because it's just not really known. It's not really mentioned like tesamorelin or ipamorelin. And the water retention is like one of those things seems to be talked about as like a major side effect, but that's the benefit of combining it with other ingredients that are natural, that offset those effects and make them nearly negligible. I have had only positive effects, which is amazing to say, honestly. 2009 looked at 123 elderly patients, and these people had hip fractures. So, very, very important study. And again, saw restored levels back to that of healthy young adults. It improved stair climbing speed, improved walking speed, and those who supplemented experienced far fewer falls than the placebo group. So, again, as we age, mobility, that's the number one thing. You got to be able to walk, you got to be able to move, stay active. And so this is just going to help you do that. Another study here looked at 65 men, this time age 60 to 81, over 1 to 2 years. So this is a long-term study. Okay. So there were older adults who took this for 2 years, and they saw increase on average. And this is out of 65 guys, 60 to 81, probably not exercising or doing dieting. They gained 2.2 pounds on average of lean muscle mass, increased bone mineral density, and improved cholesterol levels. So there's other benefits to it too, like we keep talking about. So growth hormone, again, it's produced by our pituitary. It's great for the brain, memory, cognition, as we age declines as well. So again, there's another study here looked at 8 young adults, 6 older adults. This is one of those studies too that what really drew me to this was the participants had 50% increased deep sleep levels. Okay, deep sleep, that's the most restorative sleep where our body basically detoxes. And especially like, our metabolism too also gets raised to help basically burn fat as we sleep. And so by getting more deep sleep, you're increasing all of that. You're increasing memory formations with more REM sleep as well. They saw a 50% increase in REM sleep. They got to bed quicker and had 40% less sleep interruptions. So pretty profound there as well. And I can attest to that. Again, taking it like around 6:30, man, like when the sun goes down, I'm ready to hit the hay. Like I'm ready to go to bed. So incredibly effective. I feel like it's going to help fit into most people's lifestyles very easily. Okay. We got energy peptides here. So I chose Ironman. These are going to help basically boost your energy levels on a cellular level. So these are really cool too. And there's a lot we could talk about with these, but basically these are kind of like exercise in a pill. Like this one is it's called SLU-PP332. And what it does is it triggers all of the same processes of exercise. So specifically aerobic exercise. So like running, doing cardio, any sort of zone 2 training. Basically, it's going to give you all the same benefits. So you see an increase in cellular cleanup processes. So it helps you to basically stay younger, stave off like any sort of dead cells, because that's something our body has to deal with on a daily basis, is just dead cells. So you have to clean those up, hopefully through your sleep, if your sleep's right and your sleep's good. But this can also help that. So you're also going to see improved weight loss because, of course, we know that's one of the biggest benefits from doing running, cardio, stuff like that. Insane. And also too, I'll say the sweat perfusion. So if you have a tough time sweating, this is going to help unstall you. So if your sweat ducts, are poor from, low lymphatic circulation, drainage, all that, this could help re-kickstart your lymphatic system. And you're going to see a ton of benefits there alone. But, muscle benefits as well, increases fast twitch muscle fibers. So again, it's really going to help with any sort of exercise. Okay. And then that leads us to SS31, elamitretide. I do really want to hit on this one because this is actually one of those that is in the process of hopefully getting patented and being FDA approved. And this one actually is for, the FDA version that would probably more than likely get approved here, hopefully, is actually for the eyes. So you can take this one to increase your eyesight, which is really cool. Yeah. So again, a lot of these are very specific. So this one's really cool. You can actually just take it for overall increased energy. It basically helps it helps shuttle energy in our cells. Like it helps basically have like guardrails on a highway from going off the rails. So they all stay on track. If you could think about it like a conveyor belt too, just moves the energy along the conveyor belt through our cells. And you're going to see improved heart health, muscle health, eyes, kidney, and brain health. So pretty cool there. We've also got 5-amino-1-MQ. So this is one of those that I have used. So this one's really awesome and some serious benefits to this. But what it does is basically it stops fat gain at the source. Okay. And so how it does that is it switches off an enzyme called NNMT that is responsible for basically, holding on to fat. So the more NNMT you have, the more fat you're holding on to. This basically makes you not hold on to that enzyme as much. And so, but it also has another component to it where, so basically NAD levels, as we age, decline, but also too, the NNMT breaks down NAD. And so by inhibiting the NNMT, basically you're on a cellular level again, helping to improve your cells' mitochondria. You're going to have anti-aging effects there, but mostly what it's used for is actually to get very shredded. So that was my experience with it. Again, I got into incredibly great shape. Saw some muscle gain, nothing like the growth hormone peptides, but mainly like the guy in the picture, you can get really jacked, really shredded really quick. So, there's a lot of testimonials of people using this one and being able to dunk a basketball quicker, which is really cool. And it also increases intramuscular stem cells. So again, it's anti-aging on the highest level. For me, it was incredible for energy too. You actually do feel kind of like you just have more energy. Not like coffee, but just kind of a slow, like a subtle come on effect. And this one is completely oral too. So I'd love to get this out as well. All right. And then we're getting into some really cool stuff now. So longevity peptides. So I chose, what's his name? I think he's Dr. Time or something like that. I don't remember this one, but
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's got the ability to control time, I think. So longevity,
all kind of crazy stuff. Yeah.
yeah, they're definitely seeding stuff through those movies for sure, big time. But these peptides are going to help basically extend your lifespan. And there's studies that already show that in animals, but still, even if a tenth of that translates to humans, huge opportunities. So the first one, epitalin, this is a synthetic tetrapeptide developed by Dr. Kavinson, the Russian scientist, and it stimulates telomerase, which telomerase basically is the enzyme responsible for stopping the degradation of our telomeres. And telomeres are basically like these these end caps in our cells that over time through environmental toxins, EMFs, radiation, you name it, poor diet, lifestyle, all that basically shorten. So the length of those telomeres basically is an indicator for our lifespan. And this basically helps to slow the shortening of them, or rather can even possibly help to regrow them. It also, so epitalin is a pineal gland peptide, which is awesome. I've tried this one too. And the first night I took it, man, I had the like wildest dreams. Like there's a lot of people who will take it for that, to have like enhanced dream quality, but the sleep was very deep. You could tell that your melatonin levels or whatever was like on a different level. And it's known to do that. That's what it does. It supports melatonin secretion and helps to balance your circadian rhythm. With that too, because we know melatonin is not just produced in the pineal gland, it's actually produced 97% of melatonin is produced in our bodies, not even in our pineal gland. So I'm talking every major organ in their body has melatonin, and it's an antioxidant. And so what they've shown is several studies show reduced rates of cancer from taking epitalin. So if I had that, this would definitely be something I'd be taking. Okay, and there was a study that showed it was a 12-year randomized clinical study. Basically, people who took this peptide had 28% less chance of mortality. So 28% less chance of dying. Cardiovascular mortality was twofold lower, and cardiovascular failure and respiratory diseases was twofold lower. So it's actually really good for the respiratory system too. Okay, and then we got thymolin. So I've also taken this one. So this one, again, is produced by the thymus gland. And this one helps to not only regrow the thymus gland, but it actually stimulates our body's own production of it. So think of it like the, and I use this analogy here, but think of it like the military commander for our body's natural immune cells. So it like gets them into shape, right? You know, it's like taking them to boot camp. You know, so
I think that one guy that we're looking at, I think that was Dr. Strange.
Dr. Strange, that's the one. Yep, you got it. Yeah. So,
yeah, I like him. I like that because he's moving through time and it's like changes dimensions and it's pretty trippy.
Very trippy. And I'll say too, because I remember watching one of the last movies with him. He was like one of the most important people because of his ability to slow time.
Yep.
So it's like, again, kind of a metaphor for like, dude, melatonin, man. They've shown melatonin actually influences our ability to perceive time, which we know time is construct, but you know, it's like, whoa, dude, pretty far out.
I know that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, melatonin is another one of those super, minerals that you should have in your body or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, we could go down a whole rabbit hole of optimizing melatonin, but basically anything to do with melatonin is going to help to increase your longevity overall. So, and then taking the thymolin,
and of course, and then, your pineal gland and all kind of great stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's not like, when you take melatonin supplements, it's not the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine in a pinch. Like, I personally don't use melatonin supplements.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. So it's one of those things.
And it's like, I think it's a negative over time.
Yep. And they've shown that, there's some evidence. Of course, you can find evidence to go either way, whichever way, but it's not necessary, especially with natural. Just controlling your light environment and regular exercise too really helps. But anyways, thymolin here, this study here looked at patients with severe COVID-19 and actually saw a halved hospital mortality. So this was from 2021 when all this was going down. They saw half the mortality in the hospital. So it's basically like thymolin. This is good. Thymolin to bioweapons is like the National Guard to gang violence in, I'll say, LA. It stops it right at the source, so they can't even, get going. They can't even round the troops.
I can't believe they actually used the positive thing in a hospital during COVID. Where was this hospital at? It's probably the only one.
Russia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No chance of it here. Yeah.
Mm.
So in a lot of these studies too, there are a lot of studies with peptides done on humans, but they're actually written in Russian. So hopefully with more advanced AI, we'll start to get more of those. But I mean, they've shown like life extension in a lot of different animals, dogs, mice, rodents, different
Yeah.
little.
So kind of like full circle, like we were talking about in the beginning, that one guy, the Russian guy that was basically, the daddy of all this,
Yeah.
peptides on a massive scale. And somebody, probably Big Pharma, took him out. And Russia was the one that, ran with this, like they have for a lot of stuff that benefits their people. And they've done amazing stuff with it. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we're now just starting to get access to this. And so very cool. And I'm thankful again to be able to provide BPC 157 to start, truly just to start though. We're going to be releasing a bunch of them. The BPC though with the MK677. So that's the growth hormone one.
Yep.
That's going to absolutely shake. I mean, for anybody who was maybe thinking about or was trying to get basically access to growth hormone therapy or something like that, that combo right there is like the growth hormone stack. Like I'll stand by those two in combination. You're getting the increased receptor activation, but also pure increase in growth hormone levels. So I couldn't think of anything better, especially for like just overall, aches and pains, anything like that. It's going to crush those. But also to getting into really great shape, even if you aren't like a avid bodybuilder. But even just combining it with like regular, day-to-day stress, it's going to help you overcome a lot easier.
So yeah, I would say the Trinity would be the combination of activating your stem cells with copper peptides, of course, IVC 157, is that it?
BPC, you got it. Yeah, BPC
okay.
157.
Yeah, so you're basically, getting, peptides that's, basically healing you so fast. You need that, in your life. And you have the human growth hormone. If you don't have like the stem cells, if you don't have the other one is like the telomeres, I would do something with telomeres. You could do something with the telomeres as well. And then the, growth hormone and the Wolverine, you got that stack. You're going to live a long life. It's going to turn back the aging clock like crazy on you. And you're going to be like doing stuff you haven't done for decades. For those of us who are older, for like you're going to be like having Superman body, and doing, incredible stuff like you're doing right now. And you're going to have bodyguards because they're going to come after you. So be aware of that. Women are going to be chasing you, and the big pharma are going to be chasing you. So you're going to have some bodyguards. I'm kidding, but yeah, great stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. All of that for sure. And people can look forward to it. I love how you just simplified it right there, because again, this is a lot of information. I really just want to introduce these to your audience because we're going to, of course, keep bringing out new ones. And so there's a lot to look forward to. And, you can kind of start to already put together like, okay, yeah, maybe take that. He said this one helps with sleep, if I'm having troubles with that, or, I want to gain some muscle, I want to lose some weight, there's going to be a protocol for every which way, every body type, every shape, every, everybody. It's going to help a lot of people is the goal. So, and the human growth hormone is going to be a huge part of that. So
that's going to be epic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Epic.
Oh man. I
really wish and the human growth hormone. Jeez. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Who would have thought combining them both, but it makes
God, dude.
Yeah, dude. I know. It's
dude. We got to get you on the X39. So we'll try and we'll talk about it. Hook you up. Let's look at your bundles. You have great bundles, great presentation today. I learned a lot. I know a lot of other people learned a lot. So fantastic. The intuitive bundle, of course, you use Jaco, you get 10% off, and And then the BPC 157. Also use Jaco, get 10% off. I know some of you guys are like looking real hard at that. That's good. It'll make a difference as you guys go forward. And then, of course, you're going to be looking for the, the human growth hormone that he's coming out with pretty soon. So Noah definitely, has some good products coming out. And I basically presented the two bundles. Use Jaco for, what is it, 10% off?
10% right now. Yep. With the combined bundle price, getting the best deal.
Nice. Very nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. The bundle's cool. That's what we get. Bundles are the way to go. And then, of course, the collagen peptides. The chocolate is unbelievable. Unbelievable. We actually have that on the road with us as well. And it gives you like 10%, protein every time you take it, or 10 grams of protein every time you take it. So very, very good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's great. Also, too, we got new Shilajit package.
New Shilajit packaging. Good.
Yeah, very cool. So, super excited,
So yeah, you got all the stuff that's like high tech and cutting edge. The Shilajit is the shit. So you definitely want to be on that, and all the other products too. So really good stuff. Thanks, Noah.
Can't forget the creatine. Absolutely. No, thanks again, everybody, for watching. Hope you got something from this, learned something. It's always a pleasure, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Of course.
All right, guys. Stay in love vibration. We'll see you guys next time.